I'm willing to bet that you've heard of the term LiDAR point cloud data at some point throughout your internet journey, whether that be through a big YouTube video or a small YouTube short or even an Instagram reel. Chances are you've heard of it, and chances are you might not know what it fully is. That's what this video is going to explore. We will be going in depth on the four main use cases of LiDAR point cloud data across 4 different sites, and we will be using the Equator platform to visualize each of these sites and demonstrate why they're used in those different use cases. We will be going over Vancouver for smart city planning and infrastructure analysis. We will be heading over to California and the Redwood Forest for vegetation analysis and watershed drainage analysis. We will also be heading over to the Grand Canyon for topographic modeling and data analysis for elevation. And then lastly, we will be heading over to the Hoover Dam for big infrastructure analysis such as dams and bridges as well. If that is something you would be interested in, I would highly recommend continuing watching. If you are an expert in the field or even a beginner, I can guarantee that you will be able to pull something away from this video and learn something new about the software that you've either worked with daily or have only heard on occasion. So first things first, I've gone ahead and already set up the project with all 4 sites ready to go. If you want to know how to do that yourself, go ahead and check out the tutorial just before this one so that you can get all set up. So to begin, LiDAR data is a collection of points that are gathered and mapped out when instruments such as a satellite or tools on the ground project lasers onto a surface in order to represent it in 3D space. In order to showcase this demonstration, we will be taking a look at 4 main sites across the United States and Canada in order to demonstrate the 4 main use cases. Starting off here in the Redwood Forest of California, I picked this plot of land because it represents a good balance between elevation and also vegetation analysis, as we will soon see. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on the point cloud data for this site, and as we can see, Equator gathers millions of points from different data sets and distributes them all across this site so that we can go in here and look at the elevation changes, for example. And that's one of the most important things about LiDAR data specifically, is the elevation. LiDAR data works by sending out LiDAR pulses towards 3D objects and having it bounce off of that. Each one of the pulses creates a single point. In this case, each of the points can create a tree, but for vegetation analysis specifically, the LiDAR pulses penetrate through the canopies and can actually get through to the bottom of the forest floor, capturing the full range of height data for the entire forest. And when this gets really interesting is when we start pairing it with other data layers. For example, Equator has gathered this watercourses data layer that I have added to this site. If I turn this one on, there we go, we can actually see each of the creeks running throughout this entire forest system and see that the elevation changes line up pretty nicely with each of these creeks. If we were to turn this off, you can see the outlines of each of the creeks, showing you how this point cloud data can be used to actually map out these river systems without having it laid out plain as day for you. You can actually see where they go and where they lead to simply by looking at the elevation changes within the tree line. And the same story goes for contour data. As we can see here, if we turn on contour data, which derives itself from the point cloud data we found earlier, and then turn off the point clouds, we can still see these river systems and the creek data from the contour data derived from the point clouds, which makes it really interesting for mapping out these big river systems that might be concealed underneath a large canopy. So for forestry and environmental work, this kind of data is extremely valuable. You can use it to estimate biomass, monitor forest health, assess fire risk based off of fuel load and canopy capacity and structure, or even locate unseen water sources, as we just discussed. The point cloud data gives you a level of detail and accuracy that just isn't possible with traditional surveying and imaging alone. So now that we have the first main use case talked about, we can then move on to the second main use case, which is urban planning and smart cities. And to do that, we will be taking a look at Vancouver. And over here, I'm going to turn on the point cloud data, and we can really start to get a look at the differing elevations here. Right here, I have the point cloud data turned on, and I also have water bodies and roads so that we can gain a full understanding of the fundamentals for this city. So right away, we can see how differently this point cloud looks compared to the one that we discussed previously in the Redwood Forest. There's a lot of hard edges, flat surfaces, and it's all captured in extremely vivid detail, to the point where if we zoom in here, we can distinguish individual trees, but on a more broader scale, we can see the differing elevation between the buildings and see how the overall structure of the city is laid out, including residential areas and more dense urban areas, as we see over here. For urban planning and city engineers, this is a treasure trove of information. Having access to dense, accurate 3D point clouds of an entire city means you can do things like model how a new building would impact sightlines or how it would impact the shadow casting of existing infrastructure. You can also plan and simulate upgrades to infrastructure such as road widening projects or transit corridors. On the smart city side of things, point clouds are being used as a foundation for what are called digital twins, or basically a replica of an entire city such as this one, to simulate things such as pedestrian traffic, car traffic, or even emergency response times. The benefit of generating this through Equator Studios is that you can pull this data for pretty much any urban area across North America. And you can also customize your boundary to exactly the block or district that you care about and have it ready to export into whatever planning software that you care about and that your team is using. Alrighty, so now we have the Hoover Dam, which is a really great example of using point cloud data for surveying and infrastructure analysis. So I'll just go ahead and turn on the point cloud data once again, and we can see it generating here. We have the whole dam and the actual bridge running beside it. When you're dealing with large, complex structures like a dam, bridge, or power facility, traditional surveying methods can often be incredibly time-consuming or expensive. But with the LiDAR offered by products such as Equator here, you can capture the entire 3D model of the structure quickly and safely, and then bring that into whatever software or workflow that you are using to analyze it however you need. Looking at this point cloud here, you can see just how much geometric detail we're not only getting on the dam's face, but also the surrounding terrain, the road on top, out front of the dam, all of it captured at once, and all of it captured in high detail. For structural engineers, the level of detail means that you can identify areas of concern on a structure's surface without having to actually physically access them, or generate accurate documentation or reports about structures for ones who might be missing them. For something like a bridge, you can also capture both the structure itself, the terrain, and the waterway underneath it simultaneously, which gives you a complete and whole picture of the environment. As we can see here, with this bridge, we have the environment underneath and the bridge on top. Now on to perhaps one of my most favorite examples. We're going to take a look at the Grand Canyon, which is probably the most extreme example of topography, but I think it illustrates our point very well. Let's just zoom in here and then turn on the actual point cloud data, and here we can see the actual Grand Canyon in its entirety. Well, not its entirety, but a small slice of it. We have complex cliff faces, we have plateaus, we have rivers in between, and the point cloud data captures all of it from the very bottom to the very top. In terms of terrain analysis, having access to this kind of dense 3D model means that you can generate a whole host of incredibly accurate elevation models, which then becomes the foundation for a whole range of downstream analysis. This can be things like slope mapping, drainage and watershed analysis, which we saw previously, erosion risk assessment, or just producing really high quality terrain visuals for reports and presentations, things that there are presets for in Equator. If you want to learn more about that, we talk about that in the previous tutorial. For industries such as mining, oil and gas, civil engineering, or environmental consulting, accurate terrain data is often the very first thing that you'll need before anything gets moving. Being able to generate this quickly and at this level of detail through Equator is a huge time saver compared to traditional ground surveying. It's also important to note that for areas like this, where access on the ground is difficult, LiDAR is often the only practical way you'll get the data you need at all. And there you have it. That wraps up our look at the four main use cases of LiDAR point cloud data within the Equator Studios platform. We took a look at vegetation analysis, terrain modeling analysis at the Grand Canyon, infrastructure analysis at the Hoover Dam, and lastly, urban planning at Vancouver. If this tutorial was something that you enjoyed, please be sure to stay subscribed for future tutorials. And if you are looking to get into the Equator platform, please check out the tutorial just before this one, where we go in depth on how to use the platform and how to create your very first site. Take care.